My fiancé said, my bachelorette is a 2-week trip to Europe with my ex. Don't be the controlling FBF. I replied, have a safe flight. Then I canceled our wedding venue, used the deposit to hire a PI, and served her with a lawsuit at the airport gate when she landed. I, 32 male, proposed to Natasha, 29, 8 months ago. We'd been together 3 years, seemed solid. Wedding was set for late October, venue booked, deposits paid, the whole thing. I handled most of the planning because she claimed event planning stressed her out. Translation, I paid for almost everything while she got veto power. 3 weeks ago, she dropped it casually over dinner. So I've been thinking about my bachelorette party. Yeah, what are you thinking? Vegas with the girls. She picked at her salad. Actually, Vanessa suggested we do something different, more meaningful. Vanessa, her best friend since college. The one who posts passive-aggressive quotes about supporting women's choices whenever anyone questions anything. Okay, like what? A trip to Europe, 2 weeks. I put down my fork. 2 weeks? Tash, the wedding's in 6 weeks, that's cutting it really close. It'll be fine. We'd leave in like 10 days, be back with 2 weeks to spare. Who's going? She hesitated. Red flag number 1. Me, Vanessa, Kelsey, and Devin. My brain did a hard stop. Devin? Your ex Devin? He's in our friend group, babe. Has been for years. It'd be weird not to invite him. Devin, the guy she dated for 2 years before me. The one whose Instagram she still liked every post on. The one who just happened to show up at 3 of our dates early on until I said something. You want your ex-boyfriend on your bachelorette trip. God, here we go. She rolled her eyes. This is exactly why I waited to tell you. I knew you'd make it weird. How is this not weird, Natasha? Because we're adults. Devin and I are friends. That's it. We've been over for 4 years. You need to get past this insecurity thing. Insecurity thing? Yeah. It's not attractive. I'm marrying you, aren't I? That should be enough. We went back and forth for an hour. Every concern I raised got flipped into me being controlling, insecure, not trusting her. She pulled out phrases like emotional maturity and modern relationships, and if you really loved me, you'd support this. Finally, I got tired. You know what? Fine. Do whatever you want. Her face lit up. Really? Yeah. Have a safe flight. She kissed my cheek. Thank you, babe. This is why I love you. You get it. I didn't get shit, but I did start planning. Next morning, I called the venue. Talked to the event coordinator, explained I needed to cancel. They were sympathetic but firm, non-refundable deposit of $8,500, unless I could prove extraordinary circumstances. What counts as extraordinary? Illness, military deployment, death in the family. Why are you canceling, if you don't mind me asking? My fiancée is taking a 2-week trip to Europe with her ex-boyfriend as her bachelorette party. Long pause. Sir, I'm going to personally process this cancellation and mark it as an exception. You'll receive your full deposit back within 5 business days. God bless that woman. Next call, my buddy Trevor, who's a lawyer. Not family law, but he knew people. Dude, that's insane, he said. What are you thinking? I need a PI, someone good. Can you ask around? On it. But seriously, you're really doing this? She's going to Europe for 2 weeks with her ex. Yeah, I'm doing this. He got me a name by that afternoon. Dominic, former investigator, now does private work. We met at a coffee shop. Your buddy explained the situation, Dominic said. Here's the reality. I can't follow them to Europe, but I can do extensive background checks, social media monitoring, and I have a contact overseas who can do some limited surveillance if needed. It's pricey. How pricey? For 2 weeks of monitoring? $8,000 minimum. Could go up to 12 depending on what we find and how deep you want to go. The venue deposit would cover it. Do it. Over the next week, Natasha was weirdly giddy. Packing, shopping for cute outfits, planning itineraries with Vanessa over FaceTime. I played it cool. Asked about her trip, seemed interested, acted normal. You're being so great about this, she said the night before leaving. I knew you'd come around. Just want you to have fun. The morning of, I drove her to the airport. She kissed me goodbye, told me she loved me, promised to text when they landed. Enjoy yourself, I said. I waited until her plane was wheels up. Then I called Trevor. Hey man, I need your help with something else. Update 1, 5 days and Dominic sent his first report 3 days into the trip. It was illuminating. Subject and Devon checked into a hotel together in the first city, separate rooms, but adjoining. The other two friends, Vanessa and Qley, were in a different hotel entirely. Wait, what? I called him. They're not even staying together? Correct. Vanessa and Qley are at a hostel about 2 miles away. Natasha and Devon are at a boutique hotel, much nicer. I pulled the booking. It was made 6 weeks ago under Devon's credit card. Both rooms on the same reservation. My hands went cold, 6 weeks ago, before she even told me about the trip. There's more. My contact observed them having dinner last night, just the two of them. Very intimate, hand-holding, prolonged eye contact, that sort of thing. Vanessa and Qley weren't present. Send me everything. The photos came through an hour later. Natasha and Devon at a candlelit restaurant. His hand on hers, her laughing, leaning in close. Another photo of them walking through some plaza, her head on his shoulder. I felt nauseous. Then I felt clarity. Called Trevor again. I need to know my legal options. For what? She used money I gave her for wedding expenses to fund this trip. Can I sue for that? Potentially. How much money are we talking? I'd given her $4,000 3 months ago, specifically for her dress, alterations, and bachelorette expenses. She said the dress was $2,800. I'd seen pictures of her in it. Never occurred to me to ask for receipts. $4,000 that I can prove. Probably more. I'll draft a demand letter. We'll start there. If she doesn't pay, we file a civil suit for fraud and breach of promise to marry. It's an older legal concept, but it still holds up in some cases, especially with proof of deception. Do it. Meanwhile, Natasha was texting me daily. Superficial stuff. The architecture here is amazing. Wish you could see this. Miss you, I replied normally. Sounds great. Have fun. Miss you too. Dominic's updates kept coming. More dinners, sightseeing, just the two of them. Vanessa and Qley appeared in maybe 30% of the photos. The rest, Natasha and Devon, looking very much like a couple on vacation. Day 6, she video called me. I almost didn't answer. Hey babe, she was tipsy clearly. Just wanted to see your face. Hey, having fun? So much fun. This trip was exactly what I needed. Where are Vanessa and Qley? Brief hesitation. Oh, I think they went to a pub or something. Devon and I just got back from this incredible restaurant. Just you and Devon? Yeah, the other girls wanted to do their own thing. It's fine though, Dev's been a great tour guide. I bet he has. Sounds nice. We talked for a few more minutes. She seemed completely unbothered, completely convinced she was doing nothing wrong. After we hung up, I opened my laptop and started canceling everything. Every single wedding vendor, the caterer, the photographer, the florist, the DJ. Some I lost deposits on. Others were sympathetic when I explained why. Total recovered, about $14,000 of the $32,000 we'd already put down. I'd paid $28,000 of that. She'd paid $4,000. Well, allegedly paid. I was starting to doubt she'd paid anything. My mom called that night. Honey, I just got a call from the florist. They said you canceled. I told her everything. The trip, the ex, the photos, all of it. Silence on the other end. Then, I never liked her. Mom, I didn't. Too entitled. Always thought she was doing you a favor. You're better off, sweetie. Maybe. Didn't feel better yet. Update 2, the return. 2 weeks later, Natasha's flight was landing at 4:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. I knew because she'd texted me the details, asking if I could pick her up. Can't, sorry, stuck at work, grab an Uber? Really? After 2 weeks you can't leave early to get me? Sorry babe, crazy deadline. She sent back an annoyed emoji but didn't push it. Trevor and I were waiting at the airport anyway. Not at arrivals, at her gate. With paperwork. The lawsuit had been filed 3 days prior. Civil suit for $4,000 in fraudulent use of funds, plus damages for emotional distress and breach of contract. The demand letter had been sent to her parents' house, her legal address still on her license, while she was gone. We'd gotten the tracking confirmation, someone signed for it. She hadn't mentioned it. Probably didn't know yet. You sure about this? Trevor asked as we waited by the gate. Completely. Passengers started coming through. I spotted Vanessa first, then Qley. Then Natasha, laughing at something Devon was saying behind her. She saw me and her face lit up. Then she saw Trevor. Then she saw the manila envelope in my hand. Her smile died. Babe, what are you doing here? I walked over, handed her the envelope. Natasha, You're being served with a civil lawsuit for fraud and misappropriation of funds. Details are inside. What? She stared at the envelope like it was a snake. What are you talking about? The $4,000 I gave you for wedding expenses. You used it to fund this trip with Devin. That's fraud. Devin stepped forward. Dude, that's not. Shut up, Devin. This doesn't concern you. Natasha's face went red. You're insane. I used that money for what you gave it to me for. Really? Where's your dress receipt? It's at home. No, it's not. I checked. You know what I did find? A charge on the credit card you don't know I can see. The one you're an authorized user on. $2,100 to a travel agency. Dated the same week I gave you that money. Her mouth opened. Nothing came out. You lied about the dress cost. You pocketed the difference and used my money to fund a romantic getaway with your ex. That's fraud, Natasha. The wedding is canceled. All of it. Vendors notified. Venue canceled. We're done. People were staring now. Vanessa tried to intervene. Okay, everyone calm down. Vanessa, you helped her plan this. You knew exactly what this trip was. Don't even start. Natasha found her voice, shrill now. You canceled our wedding. You took a 2-week vacation with another man. What did you think was going to happen? It was a bachelorette party. With your ex-boyfriend, who you stayed in a hotel with, who you had romantic dinners with, while your actual friends stayed somewhere else. Yeah, I know all about it. Her face went white. You had someone follow me? I had someone document what you were doing with money you stole from me. And it's all in the lawsuit. You've got 30 days to respond. My lawyer's info is in there. I turned to leave. Trevor followed. Behind us, Natasha started screaming. You can't do this. You're crazy. I didn't do anything wrong. Devin was trying to calm her down. Vanessa was yelling something at me. Kelsey just looked uncomfortable. I didn't look back. In the parking garage, Trevor shook his head. That was nuclear, man. She deserved it. Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying, damn. We grabbed food. I went home. Sat in my apartment, my name on the lease. Thank God we never moved in together officially. And just breathed. My phone started blowing up around 6 p.m. Texts from her, from Vanessa, from numbers I didn't recognize. I blocked them all except Natasha's. I'd need that for evidence. Her texts were a journey. We need to talk about this like adults. You humiliated me in front of everyone. I'm coming over right now. Devin was just a friend. You're being ridiculous. Fine, don't answer. I can't believe you're doing this over nothing. My lawyer says you don't have a case. That last one made me laugh. She didn't have a lawyer. She couldn't afford one. Update 3. Consequences. The next week was chaos. Natasha tried everything. First, she showed up at my apartment. I didn't let her in. She screamed through the door for 20 minutes until a neighbor threatened to call the cops. I got it on my phone video. More evidence. Then she tried to get to me through mutual friends. Painted herself as the victim. He's controlling. He freaked out over a harmless trip. He's trying to financially ruin me. Some people bought it. Most asked questions. Once they heard about Devin, about the separate hotels, about the photos, opinions shifted fast. Her own sister called me. Bridget. We'd always gotten along. Is it true? She asked. About Devin? Yeah. Jesus, I told her not to go on that trip. I told her it looked bad. She insisted it was fine, that you were cool with it. She told you I approved? Yeah, she made it sound like you were totally supportive. I laughed bitterly. She manipulated both of us. I'm sorry, for what it's worth, you dodged a bullet. The lawsuit moved forward. Natasha finally retained a lawyer, some guy who clearly took the case because she promised she was the victim. His first demand letter was aggressive. Accused me of harassment, defamation, unlawful surveillance. Trevor destroyed it in his response. Pointed out that hiring a licensed investigator is perfectly legal. That truth is a defense to defamation. That she'd committed fraud and we had evidence. Her lawyer went quiet after that. Discovery was beautiful. We subpoenaed her bank records. Found the travel agency charge. Found charges for the boutique hotel. Her card, despite Devin supposedly booking it. Found Venmo payments between her and Devin going back months. Payments labeled with heart emojis and inside jokes. She'd been planning this for a while. Her desperation escalated. She tried to access the joint savings account we'd opened for the wedding. I'd already emptied it and closed it the day after the airport confrontation. My money anyway. I'd contributed 90% of what was in there. The bank called me to confirm, told me she'd shown up in person demanding access. They informed her the account was closed. She left screaming about financial abuse. Then came the nuclear option from her side. Her mom, Patricia, started calling my family. My mom, my dad, even my grandmother. Sob stories about how I'd abandoned Natasha, how I was cruel, how their family was devastated. My mom shut it down fast. Patricia, your daughter took a 2-week romantic vacation with her ex-boyfriend, using my son's money. He has photos. He has receipts. Maybe you should be asking her what she was thinking. Patricia went silent, hung up, didn't call back. The best part came 3 weeks after the airport. Devin posted on social media a long, whiny post about cancel culture and complicated relationships and how some people can't handle modern love. Comments were ruthless. Bro, you went on vacation with another man's fiancée? Modern love, aka cheating? This ain't it, chief? He deleted it within hours. Too late. Screenshots live forever. Natasha tried one final play. She sent me a letter, handwritten, delivered to my apartment building's office. I made mistakes, I see that now, but I love you. I've always loved you. Devin means nothing. It was just comfort, just familiarity. You're who I want to marry. Please, can we talk? I took a photo of it, sent it to Trevor. More evidence she knew what she was doing. Beautiful. She just admitted to the relationship. The settlement came through last week. She agreed to pay back the $4,000 in installments, $400 a month for 10 months. Not ideal, but better than dragging this out. She also had to sign a statement admitting she'd misused funds intended for wedding expenses. Her lawyer tried to fight that part. Trevor reminded them we could go to trial instead, where all the photos and evidence would become public record. She signed. I saw her one last time at the settlement meeting. She looked terrible, tired, defeated. Devin wasn't with her. Apparently they'd had a falling out, shocking absolutely no one. She tried to talk to me as we left. I really am sorry, okay? That's it? Just okay? What do you want, Natasha? You lied, you stole, you embarrassed yourself and me. You nuked our entire future for a trip with your ex. What is there to say? I thought. She trailed off. I thought I could have both. Have both what? The security of you and the excitement of him. At least she was honest finally. How'd that work out? She didn't answer. I walked away. For real this time. Last thing. My finances took a hit. Lost about $14,000 total on wedding stuff even after the cancellations and the settlement. But honestly, worth every penny. Found out who she really was before I married her, before we bought a house together, before we had kids. Some people told me I was too harsh, that I should have talked to her first, given her a chance to explain. But here's the thing. She had chances. Every time I brought up Devin, every conversation about boundaries, every moment she could have been honest, she chose manipulation instead. The $4,000 lawsuit wasn't really about the money. It was about accountability. She needed to face a consequence that couldn't be argued away or blamed on my insecurity. And she did. I'm doing all right now. Work's busy, apartment's quiet. Started seeing someone new actually. Met her at a friend's party last month. Told her the whole story on our second date, figured I'd better be upfront about the baggage. She laughed and said, "Let me get this straight. Your ex tried to gaslight you into accepting her vacation with her ex. You hired a PI, caught her in the lie, served her at the airport, and sued her for fraud?" Yeah? That's the most competent response to betrayal I've ever heard. You want to grab dinner Friday? We've got our third date this weekend. As for Natasha, last I heard through the social media grapevine, she's single. Devin apparently got back with his own ex-girlfriend within a month of their trip. Vanessa distanced herself after too many 3 a.m. crying phone calls. She's back living with her parents while she figures things out. The monthly payments hit my account like clockwork. $400 every month for the next 8 months. A little reminder that actions have consequences. And honestly, that's enough closure for me.